Hey, 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 it's the Pacific Northwest Geek Echo Zero here. And today I have for you a review of the 1980 horror movie, the 1980 monster horror movie, Alligator. And by the way, I enjoyed this movie. I enjoy it pretty much every time I see it, which is why I own this collector's edition, which comes with it on 4K plus Blu-ray. The theatrical version and the television version. It's an awesome movie. This movie was directed by, I got my notes right here so if I look like I'm looking over, Louis Tork, who also is the director of Cat's Eye and Cujo, both Stephen King movies, and The Dogs Outside Barking. Now, Navy SEALs is another movie he directed, a movie that was shot near where I lived in Virginia at the time. Written by John Sayles, who wrote such movies as the 1978 Piranha. Been a while since I've seen the 78 movie. Battle of the Stars and The Howling. It stars Robert Forster, Robin Ryko, and Henry Silva. Now, the story is that in 1968, a little girl is with her parents in Florida, where they are watching this alligator type show, and it's supposed to be like a man versus alligator fight. The guy basically gets his ass kicked and gets his leg all torn up by the alligator, and she wants a pet alligator. They get her one, and they come back to Chicago. I guess is where the movie takes place, where the father decides to be an asshole and flush it down the toilet and tell his daughter it died. 12 years later, Detective David Madison is a homicide detective who is assigned to a case that's about involving missing dogs and human body parts that are showing up at the waste station, sewer station, whatever they call it. Now, Madsen is played by Robert Forster, and he's got a bit of a bad reputation due to the fact that 5 years earlier, his partner was stabbed to death, and I guess he could have prevented it, or something happened, and he is basically got this reputation of being a partner killer or getting his partners killed or whatever. As he's investigating this case, he comes across a pet shop owner who wears this ugly Hawaiian shirts. I don't like Hawaiian shirts. The ugly, the hideous things should be outlawed. Now, this dog's pet store owner is connected to this company who's doing these illegal experiments on animals involving the steroid or some kind of chemical compound, some kind of steroid or whatever, that can cause the animals to grow big. And you can guess what it has caused to grow big. Yeah, that alligator that got flushed down the toilet 12 years earlier is now 36 feet long. Holy moly! That a big boy. Oh, girl. There's a little something at the end that kind of could, maybe say that was a girl. But anyways, when the pet shop owner is killed, because he delivers bodies of not bodies but dogs to the lab and disposes of the dead dogs. So basically, all the dead dogs they've been finding, it's because of him. But he ends up getting killed by the alligator. They find part of his lower leg and his feet, as well as the ugly shirt. Now, as they start to think that something's up, as Madison thinks something's up, he decides he has to go into the sewers. He also has a reporter who's giving him shit about what happened 5 years earlier. And he gets some young officer named Officer Kelly to go with him, where they find the alligator, and it kills. It eats Officer Kelly. No one wants to believe Madsen. Turns out the mayor, the police chief, answers to the mayor, who is buddies and answers to the head of this company. I guess the guy's name is Slade, the rich man who wants people to look the other way and just basically ignore what's going on. But when the reporter who's given Madsen shit is killed, and before he dies, he takes pictures of the alligator. It basically leads to everybody knowing that, oh shit, it's out there. But, of course, the rich guy Slade still wants to basically make it look like he's innocent, which, as we see in the movie, he's not. And the head scientist apparently is his son-in-law, who every time something happens, when the police come snooping, the son-in-law comes running to Slade. And this all climaxes in a scene where it rips a cop's leg off. Actually, this cool scene where these kids are playing street ball, and it just bursts through the ground. It literally punches his way out of the sewer onto the street, rips a cop's leg off. Woo! That's a kick-ass scene right there. Now, it eventually ends up at a wedding party. A wedding, which, guess what? It's the wedding for the scientist, who is the son-in-law of Slade, and the mayor is there, and of course the mayor, basically, you might get an idea what happens to the mayor, to Slade, and the scientist. Also, at one point, they hire a big game hunter, named Colonel Brock, played by Henry Silva. He's got to go and find his thing, and try to find it. Also, Madison meets his romantic interest, the main female lead in this. Let me get this right. Marissa Kendall, played by Robin Rico, who, guess what? Kendall, the character that Robin Rico plays, is the little girl from the beginning of the movie who has no idea that the mutated giant alligator is eating everybody was her pet alligator who was mutated. I really, really enjoyed this movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest it. This is a really cool movie. When I saw this, it was about $20, I think, when I saw it. And maybe a little bit more, maybe about 20, 25. But I jumped at it because I really do love this movie. I have a crate here under my desk where I put some of the movies I don't like, so I gotta figure out what to do with them. This will be going to the stack of DVDs I got right here. It's going to go right here. Probably somewhere near the top because, again, I really do enjoy this movie. It's a cool movie. Now, there was a sequel made because the ending kind of teases that there's another alligator out there. There was a sequel made 11 years later. Oh, 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. I've seen it listed as Alligator 2, The Mutation. I've seen it listed as both 1990 and 1991. So, 10, 11 years later, it was made. Different. I don't know if it's a different city, the same city, but it's a different police officer. It's, it's been a while since I've seen that one, but if I recall right, I didn't enjoy it as much as I did this one. Again, this is a must-see. I will try to find. I got this on Best Buy, so if I can find it on Amazon and Best Buy, I will put the links down in the description. Also, little interesting credits. Apparently, they must have had someone who was wearing some suit or operating some kind of alligator type deal. The person who was wearing the suit or operating it was Kane Hodder, who is uncredited for this, but apparently, if you look him up, his name will pop up as Kane Hodder, Alligator, and list him as playing the Alligator. But if that wasn't interesting enough, from Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston, who apparently was a production assistant on this movie. So, Robert Forster, Henry Silva, Kane Hodder, and Bryan Cranston working together. That's kind of cool. But anyways, I gotta go edit this. And, I want to watch the extras on this. I haven't watched the extras yet. So I'm going to go do some editing and watching the extras. Maybe even the commentary, because there is an auto commentary with Louis Twerk and Robert Forster. So I think that would be a new interview with actress Robin Riker, who went on, by the way, a few years ago to play a character on General Hospital. So, but anyways, I am Echo Kiro, and I will see you on the flip side. And no flushing alligators down.